Here on the field with South Division champion head coach Jack Wright. How does that sound?
Sounds great. It's hard to hold back the emotion. Just extremely proud of these young men, how hard they work. So it's definitely a big payoff.
I thought your team showed a lot tonight. First time you've given up points in the first quarter. First time you've been behind. You were behind a couple of times and rebounded. What does that say about your squad?
There was any real sense of panic. There was no real sense of surprise. The surprise is we haven't been behind some. This is a tough league, and so going behind early in the game was not surprising. One thing we talked about all week was, Hinds was really playing for their life. They had to win tonight to get into the playoffs. A very good football team at their place. There's no surprises tonight that they played really well and put us behind early.
Defensively, after you got behind, and even while you were behind, they were generating turnovers, 4 takeaways in the first half. They rebounded and played well after a little bit of a rocky start.
Yeah, we made some adjustment. Coach Schufelt, you got to give him a lot of credit. He made an adjustment or two. He kind of had plan B ready to go. With that wound up getting called, I think, a little bit more than you'd expect, but that's not unusual in defensive football. Still a talented group, a lot of negative plays and a lot of turnovers, like you said.
Offensively, you guys really, I thought, in the second quarter into the third quarter, really imposed the will of the offensive line. They really kind of took over the game and were able to run it down their throat. Yeah,
I think that's the sign of a good offense. You get up 2 touchdowns or maybe a little bit more. Late in a conference game, can you run the football when you have to run the football? The opposite of that is in the first half, I thought the passing game was very efficient. So being able to do both when we want to do it has been a big key for us this year.
One big play was the Omni Wells run. Hinds had just scored to go ahead. Next play, Omni goes 65 yards. What happened on that play?
Just a little pitch to the left, trying to get our running back some space. We feel like they're dynamite if we can get them just a little bit of room. So we pitched it out there to him to the left. We got 2 really good blocks on the perimeter. The free safety came down and was free. I think Omni kind of gave him a little bit of a juke and then just beat him with speed to the outside. I was standing right there. I was sure he was going to go out of bounds, but he didn't. I saw the whole thing. It was very close, but he stayed in and he turned on the speed. Omni's extremely fast, maybe the fastest player on the team. So when he got around the edge and got a little bit of a lead on the other defenders, it was pretty much over.
276 yards rushing. Chance, I thought, was efficient tonight. I think it was 19 of 32 for 216, something like that. Y'all were able to kind of dial up whatever you wanted to, it felt like, there after a while.
Yeah, it was really good. The thing about Chance is the big throws come when you need them the most. I think we were backed up on like a 3rd and long early in the third quarter, and momentum really could have shifted right there if we had to punt the ball back over to them. We had a big play in the middle of the field to Marquise for a first down. So I'm singling out that play, but I think if you go back and watch, there's going to be some big throws at some very timely moments that keep the chains moving, or maybe they score.
I think that was the play Marquise had to pay the price. He got hit pretty good. I think that was that play.
It was.
I heard you tell the guys afterwards they got 3 days to kind of celebrate, take a little time off, because we'll play a week from Saturday.
How many times in your life are you going to be 9-0 in damn South State? Hey, you got 3 days off in the
play at Perkinston. We haven't set the time yet, but you get a home playoff game. That's got to feel good.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna play home or away, obviously you want to play at home. Our kids play fast on the turf. They feel comfortable on the turf. We practice on it every day. I know we will have a very good home crowd down in South Mississippi. I'm not exactly sure who the opponent is, but it'll be a really good team from the north. Just really excited for our kids. I mean, 9-0 is hard to do, Don. I mean, you're talking about some really good teams that you go against every day. You're talking about not making any major mistakes that cost you a game, and that's very difficult to get through a season with. So just you can't really understate the level of achievement I think that we've accomplished this year as a group.
This was essentially the first of 3 playoff games to win the state. Gulf Coast was in the playoffs, but now you get a home field advantage. You get to play the number 2 seed from the north and get to see what happens. So we're looking forward to it.
Right, should be a fun 2 or 3 weeks.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you, Don.
Here on the field with big offensive lineman Hayden Burton from Bogachita, Mississippi. Hayden, South Division champs. What does that make you feel like?
It feels good. We've put in a lot of hard work since the season ended last year, but at the same time, we realize we got a lot of football left to play.
Head to the playoffs next week. Let's talk about tonight first. You guys got behind. First time you've been behind all year. What was the mentality like?
Just respond. That's what the coaches have preached to us all year is respond and one play at a time. And the defense has had our backs in some games throughout the season. We had to have their back tonight.
It looked like, especially there, that when you came out of the locker room, the offensive line was kind of able to impose your will. You had long drives that were rushing, dominated. What were y'all doing out there?
It's like you said, we were just imposing our will, and we were just coming off the ball, being physical. They threw some stuff at us formation-wise that we hadn't really gone over this week in practice, but we just adapted to it and kept pushing forward, one play at a time.
One of the biggest plays was a big touchdown run by Omni Wells, immediately answered a score by Hinds. What happened on that play?
It's just what we were coached to do, just playing ball. We're professionals and we're used to it. That's just how we do.
Defense picked it up after a little bit of a slow start. What did you see from them as the game went on?
Just effort. Once they realized we had their back, they just kept plugging away. I mean, Hinds had some really good players on offense, and the bad things are going to happen sometimes. It's a sport, but you just got to keep plugging.
All right, congratulations, South State champ.
Thank you.
Here on the field with linebacker Navonteque Strong from Forest, Mississippi. Navonteque, South Division champs, how does that make you feel?
Feel great. Coming in with a bunch of guys that wanted to play strong and be humble.
What were y'all able to do tonight to get them slowed down? They got 14 points on y'all fairly early, but then after that it was slim pickings.
They came in with the high head. They knew they had something to play for, and we just came out second half and shut it out.
What did you see on the other side of the ball from our offense?
Man, offense play outstanding. Chan throwing a lot of great balls and receiver converting on the passes and scoring.
I think the offensive line was able really to kind of impose their will. We ran the ball pretty well as well. I think you get 3 days off here to enjoy tonight.
Yes, sir.
But what's next on the plate?
Got to come back next week and do the same thing we always do, grind.
All right. Hey, tell me about the play there, the last play, the sack. They were driving there with about a minute to go. What happened on that play?
Coach Drew called the play, and I just saw the hole line up, and I just took my shot.
Good feeling, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. Congratulations, Bug.
Thank you.